So, hello everyone. Welcome to another edition of Daytona Office Hours. As always, we'll go through stuff we changed last week in the Daytona open source project. So, let's go get into it. So, I think it's just 20 seconds. So, first commit from last week was Ivan's backup state on destroy. So, he basically did a small change when updating a sandbox state to destroyed or archived. So now it puts the backup state also to none. After that, we have Fabian. He excluded basically the organization members page from force redirecting in the case of negative wallet balance or organization suspension. So you can add people even though you're suspended. The next contribution was Alexander's. Firstly, big shout out to him and his team. They did a lot of great inputs on our Docker Compose setup. So those commits are mostly from their inputs. So he basically added just the DNS URL and ping packages to our default sandbox image. Next commit was from our colleague Luca. He added the missing checks in our sandbox start action. So when we called the runner for sandbox info, we didn't check for unknown state. He fixes that. And the next commit is Goran's. It's probably the biggest PR of this week. So Goran basically added metrics collection and structured logging to Daytona's monitoring. So he added the OTel collector, which basically is a central hub for like observability data. Now the data is not sent from the API directly to the endpoints. It's routed, batched, and exported by the OTel collector. He also replaced the default Nest.js logger with Pino logger. So we have like structured JSON logs that can then be searched or parsed by log aggregators like Loki. He also added like three decorators with span, with metric, and with instrumentation to basically create trace spans for method or measure any method we like. This is great because we will be able to see the performance deterioration much faster than before. So this is probably the biggest improvement from last week. After that, Luca also added the volume access guard, which basically prevents unauthorized volume actions. This was also long awaited. And after that, we have a lot of Docker Compose commit from Toma. Basically, all of them were in correspondence to the RAIN team that Alexander is part of. So great work from those guys. So first commit is Toma added the initialization of the backup default backup registry on API boot. So also he added the wait for the default runner to be ready. So it waits for 30 seconds for the runner to boot before continuing. Previously just failed. After that, we have default or quota from config. Tom added this to typed config so we can get the default or quota from the environment variables and not have them hard coded like we had before. After that, another local OSS deployment improvement. So basically, he added a lot of changes to our docs. He added the whole environment variable table to the documentation. He also added how to configure the proxy for the API, and also he emphasized that the Auth0 is not mandated to configure the Daytona locally. It's just a nice to have feature. People were getting confused by that. After that, we have Tarun making a comeback. He basically fixed our docs buttons. So in our navigation on the bottom of our docs pages, we were navigating to the same exact page. And now it's actually being sent to the next page in the related links group. So that's great. After that, we have some dependable commits. And then Tomo fixed the DB mount path for Postgres 18. That's a quick fix. Goran added flash logs after configuring Pino logger, so the buffer, the startup logs are properly written to their destinations, so we don't miss any initialization logs. After that, Goran also added the sorting or ordering to the audit log fetch. So basically, before, if you had the same timestamp, the audit logs, it would give it to you in the random order each fetch. Now it will give you them ordered by created at an ID, so that's now deterministic. After that, we have another bunch of compose fixes from Toma. He added curl to the proxy image, I think, yeah, because the health check relies on the curl package. Then he added the hotel collector to the no proxy list example in the talks. After that, we have update to the DEX health check. He basically changed that to vget instead of curl. Going forward, we have Lucas fix for his volume access guard. Basically, he made the organization ID fetch take either the sandbox ID or the name plus organization ID param. That fixes an edge case where in our SDK, if the volume doesn't exist, it creates it. So that's now covered. And the last merge commit was actually mine. I fixed the bug I introduced in the last release. So basically, customers reported commands with bash running in interactive mode hanging when polling exit calls. So we removed the custom process group and did basically process tree walking instead of assigning our custom process group ID. This allows the bash to inherit the normal terminal process group needed for the interactive mode to handle job control normally, so it doesn't hang anymore. So that's also fixed. And that's all from the last week. It was a week where we prioritized fixing the current errors, and that will be seen here in the PR. So a lot of common errors are getting patched. So Luca is waiting for fail to stop on remove. So adding basically some container kill fallbacks if the exponential timeout doesn't work. Mirko is working on the e-timed out error in runner adapter. I did some fixing on the declarative builds going into error states if there is no available runner. That shouldn't be fixed. And probably the most exciting PR upcoming is Luca's refactor of our MCP. That's still in draft mode, but it's going greatly. He also works on the remote Daytona MCP server, so we can host our own MCP servers and people can access it from there. Remote clients without needing to install the MCP on their machines. So that's mostly for this week. If there are any questions, would feel great to answer those, but if not, that's it.